Happy Saturday, everybody. Thank you for joining me on All Things Possible. All right, it is Saturday, May the something. I'm so sorry. I think it's like the 8th. Oh, thank you for coming on, you guys. I have today, like I posted, I'm going live with Tony Doyle. I'm so excited. Just a few days ago, I realized, like, I knew he was working with Mindvalley, one of my favorite set of entrepreneurs and group, Hay House, and so many great other people that he works with. I asked him to come on this show on the live with me and share some of his journeys and what he's doing, how he's doing it, and how he may be a service to us, and see if there's anything that we hear from him that we can learn from too, to apply to our lives now to make a change or create something different. All right, so I am going to bring on my friend Tony Doyle. All right, you guys, get ready for the drum roll. And we'll see. Sometimes it takes a few moments before it pops on. Just bear with me a moment. We are bringing on Tony Doyle. And there he is. Hey, good morning or afternoon.
Yes. I guess it was 1 minute afternoon here.
Yes, I know. Hold on, let me make sure my volume and everything is up. Okay. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I hear a little echo when I'm speaking. Are you hearing anything?
No, it's clear on my side, but.
All right, well, we'll check in a little bit if anybody joins them. When they do, ask them if they're here.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so I was just saying, I realized that I know last week we spoke for a few moments, and you said that you were getting ready to do something with Mindvalley, and I was like, what? Mindvalley? I love that company.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at your website and see that you're also with Hay House, one of my favorite, one of the ones that actually helped me become more in touch and aware of all that was taking place in my life, clarify some things for me. And it was somebody else too. Hay House, Mindvalley, and who else do you work with?
I work in a lot of places. I've done 2 TedX talks, so most people usually.
TED Talk, that was it. Like, I've always wanted to go to TED Talk and see one, and maybe one day be on one. So go ahead. That's a great introduction. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, some of the things that you do.
Sure. Well, I'm a work in progress, as we all are, right?
Yeah.
So currently, I mostly work in leadership, both with nonprofit organizations, with a lot of corporations, CEOs and things like that, but also with politicians and with celebrities and sports stars and things like that. Anybody who's in the leadership spotlight, I really help them get a spiritual grounding, because it's really easy to get in your ego, at least what I've found. So how I help people is to get them spiritually grounded, and use spiritual principles to kind of help other people, because they're in whatever they're doing it because they want to impact other people. It's just kind of hard to do on your own, with ego drawing you out and money involved and all that, as we all know,
Yeah.
So that's what I do. And like you said, I work with a lot of live events, including Hay House, including Mindvalley, including the TedX, but lots of other things, the Obama Foundation, ASCAP and BMI, a lot of music things, because as you know, I've been assigned recording musician for 25 years, so I have tons of influence in that industry. So the organizations behind it, which ASCAP and BMI are kind of underlying things that most people don't know about, but it's how artists get paid. So it's kind of like the union of actual signed musicians. So I work a lot with them, once again, to help them keep.
What kind of stuff do you work and do with them? Like, I know you said spiritual basis rooting, mostly it sounds like. So what kind of work techniques do you use, and what is the basis of what you're doing with them?
Well, like I said, it's all in leadership, and it depends on what they need. You know what I mean? So the first thing, they'll have a desire. You know, if they get a hold of me, it's because they've already noticed a lack somewhere. Lots of times it's company culture. So it's like building the spiritual thing into the organization, whether it's a nonprofit or a business, whatever it is. And lots of times they're not spiritual people. They just know that something's lacking, right?
Okay.
So lots of time, I mean, my approach is to bring law of assumption and spiritual principles in and build things up from that. I've got a 5-pillar approach that I go in with anybody I work with, whether it's an individual or an organization. We always address mindset, heart set, soul set, health set, and skill set. All 5 of those areas. So what we do is we go in, they know something's lacking. I go in and assess each of those with them. And then we start working on where the deficit is.
Okay, nice.
You know, everyone is a little bit different.
Yeah, I know it'd be because the same thing for me. Like if somebody asks me for a tutor, how would I work with someone? I can't give an exact thing. I have, you know, it depends on the person and where they are, what they're looking for. Like that, you know how to work with someone.
Right.
But so, like at the basis of when someone comes, no matter what it is that they're seeking, I always feel like it's important because we forget as humans in this world trying to experience it, live it, survive it, whatever you call it. To me, experience it. As we're trying to experience it, we tend to forget at times, and so we need reminders. And I feel like what you and I and a lot of other people have had on and people that we know are reminders, because a lot of times we know these things within ourselves, but we need reminding. You know, so we're here reminding each other and ourselves also. But one of the basics that I feel like no matter what you're looking for, people have forgotten to quiet their mind. Because they're thinking of how to pay this, what to cook, what I have to wear, what you know, the kids need this. And so the basis of everything is like bring it back to center and to quiet your mind. Is that pretty much like where you start off too? Or is there like somewhere that you start off as the basis of working with someone?
It depends where they're at. Like I said, I'll do that assessment and see. I mean, they may have a strong meditation practice already. You know, a lot of people I work with are spiritual entrepreneurs, or at least, you know, being that I'm in the Mindvalley community and the Hay House community, they've already got a baseline of those things, but not all. You know what I mean? So yeah, we will. Obviously, you and I know that is kind of. If you can't get to that baseline, you can't get, you know, what I call the soul set. You can't get the intuition back from the universe. You know what I mean? If you're not open, you're not an open channel to do that, then
you're not hooked up. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it comes up the process. You know, and like I said, a lot of entrepreneurs and business folks know something is wrong, but they can't put their finger on it because, you know, all they can see is spreadsheets. You know what I mean, and money earning, and they've got to report to investors, and you know they've got all these things, and it really clouds their vision of how simple things could and should really be.
Yeah. So can you tell me some of the things that you do, like at Hay House? You do at Hay House.
At Hay House, I deal mostly with their live events, so we haven't done a lot recently. But all of their live events, I always participate in that as a teacher and facilitator with them. So I work with Mike Dooley, and I work with
I love them.
like
I always watch the Hay House Summit since 2014. I missed, I think, last year's summit because I was like, what? How did that happen? It went by so fast.
Yeah.
But I've been watching them since 2014. Just around the time when I first heard of Hay House, I was listening to a Wayne Dyer video on YouTube, and he talked about Anita Moorjani.
Yep.
And Anita Moorjani actually gifted me tickets for me and my friends to a conference in Fort Lauderdale, where I was then introduced to Joe Dispenza, Doreen. It was a lot of people. Nick Ortner was there for the tapping crew, and yes, I learned from all of them there. So I was like super grateful to come across the house. They're teachers that they've chosen to bring forth messages. It's amazing to me, as well as with Mindvalley.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I've been working with Hay House since the middle of 2017 on live events.
Okay.
So if you ever go to any of their live events, especially Hay House U, which is their live one-day seminar where they just have back-to-back-to-back authors.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm always there. I've been, like I said, I've been to 27 since the middle of 2017. I even flew back from Mumbai to get to one in Las Vegas at the last one I had to make sure I could make it in time, to work. And like I said, I help Coach Spencer and all the different people, and they've been instrumental. And yeah, I don't do that for money. I mean, I do get paid some, but really they've been instrumental in my whole spiritual progress.
Oh man, I would be so excited to. I would do it not money either, just to be around that frequency and environment and soak up as much as I could and can. I would be.
Yeah. Before you get a chance to come live, I'll introduce you to people.
Okay, that would be awesome.
So I can't wait until we go live again. So we're hoping Mindvalley's actually starting our live events at the end of this year. Hay House is looking at 2022 spring. So we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yes. Yeah. I would love to check them all out.
Yeah.
So what type of people? Okay, so the people that are like on my page and who may share it on see it working or I'm in the industry already and is seeking for some like upliftment or guidance. A lot of people have questions. They don't kind of know where to move from where they are right now. And like how to take their spiritual or the emotional or even sometimes the financial life just a step further. How could they reach out to you, and do you how if someone how would they know that you're the person they would work with?
Sure. My entire business, okay, and I've built near almost a 7-figure business at this point. Okay, so I want to say that too, because the ideas that I teach and coach aren't just in my mind. It's what I also use to build my own business, right? So I've tripled my income and my impact over the last 2.5 years. So my entire business is by referral.
Okay.
So you won't see a lot of ads. If you see anything, it'll just be in general pointing you to my website, which is the best place to get a hold of me, which is TonyDoyleInspires.com. Everything that you need to know to get a hold of me is there. I have 2 YouTube channels. I run 2 podcasts. Like I said, I'm in the Mindvalley community constantly, weekly. I'm in the Hay House community weekly. I do TedX things. I do lots of live events on my own and with other people. I mean, we've done the Dean Graziosi money and spiritual mindset thing for 3 years in a row. So we work a lot with Dean and just a lot of different people in that venue.
Yeah.
So because of that, I get a lot of FaceTime and people ask me after the event or they come on there. But also, like I said, I'm known a lot for music. It's for over 25 years I've been a touring musician and in the hip hop community specifically. So lots of people know me from there. So I get that. I'm also a medical and I have a meditation apparel company. So I work with meditation studios on bulk apparel for their attendees and those things. So I have all these different influences.
You were soaking up everything. You've been soaking up everything that you've been learning and experiencing. And yeah.
Yeah, here's what I did, Prudence, honestly, and this would be great for the people there. And this is what I do. Once I figure it out, you don't effort in figuring out what makes money. You literally do follow your passion. Like, a lot of people hear that and they think that and they're like, yeah, I should do that. Once I figure it out, what are my passions? What makes me happy right now? What do I do without having to make money? And then I figured out how to make money from each of those. So I have 5 income streams. So I have 5 businesses and a nonprofit right now. Because I love youth. I've always done youth work since the time I was a little guy, 8 years old. So I've got a nonprofit, TDI Global Foundation for Youth. I've got, like I said, my meditation parallel line. I've got a coaching. I've got a business consulting company. I still do music, and you have income coming in from that, from ASCAP and BMI. So it's literally follow your passion and let that feed you. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely. And don't worry about how much time you're spending on each, because if you love each, it doesn't matter. The business will build itself. And I was
telling my daughter that.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I was telling her this morning that when you really figure out what it is you really want, why you really want what you want, you're gonna work. You're gonna see all the obstacles and still push through it, because at the end of it. I mean, if you look at other people in the spotlight or in our personal life, other people in our peer, you see after that hard period of pushing, something great is made out of it. The example with the grapes, the wines, the diamonds, the rocks being done, and all these precious things. There's a lesson in there for us too, that we become, when we get that thing that we're going for, it feels more amazing. It sounds cliche, but there's no other way to say it. You feel more amazing, more awareness of what you have now, because you have to push through that.
Exactly right. I found the same thing. And what's interesting is a lot of people get these big businesses and they have to work 80 hours a week, and it takes them away from their family. What I figured out how to do is work with my family. I've got 2 kids. Each of them pick something they're interested in that I'm doing. They work in my business with me. In the hours.
Yes.
We only work 4 days a week. We vacation the rest. We travel. Like I said, I do a lot of live events. So I've built the life that I wanted, because what we do is, so if we have something in Las Vegas, which we do a lot, or in LA, we fly there for 3 days. We do 1 day of an event, and we have a 2-day vacation, and we fly back.
Yeah.
So I'm able to.
Yeah. I've just got information on how that works too. So I think that's so cool. More people are doing it, and actually, now that we've figured out how to do it, are teaching other people how to do it as well. So really quick, Tony, to wrap up, so then I think that's a really good basis of knowing who you are, and I did find a lot of golden nuggets, I like to call them, in some of the things that you've said and share with us. What is the one thing that pushes you to your purpose? Like you said, this is your passion. What about doing things that you love most, and what do you hope to continue doing or see yourself expanding on?
Like I said, this is my life, right? So what I've loved is, like I said, being able to figure out myself how to make over $500,000 a year, work with my family, work 4 days a week, and take 12 vacations a year, and sharing that with other people who have figured out or realized, like you said, within themselves, that if you're quiet enough and you follow that little inspiration that comes to you, to follow your passion, all this stuff is natural. Okay, it is what it is. Like I said, I was introduced to this from Hay House. Dr. Dyer was my first mentor. He introduced me to Neville Goddard, and everything I do is based on the law of assumption. Assume what you want to be, live in the end, forget about the hows, and let it flow.
Yes.
It works.
Yes. Awesome. And where do you see yourself? What is your goal to continue? I know it's continue helping collective. Is there anything else that you're working on right now for the coming up that we're on the lookout for? And then how can people reach you? I know you already said the website. So actually, if you would just leave the link to your website that people can find you in the comments, that'd be awesome. But is there anything coming up in the future that you are going to look out for?
Sure. Yeah, we've got lots of stuff. Like I said, we're trying to get back into the live events. We do have a Mindvalley event coming up at the end of the year, hopefully, but that's not in the States. So if you're interested in that, go to mindvalley.com and look at live events. The next thing for me is in June 4th through 6th, I'm participating in an international summit on Neville Goddard and his teachings.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah, so and you can go and find out NevilleGoddardSummit.com to find out all the info on that, or just check my Facebook. I'm putting links and ticket discounts and all kind of stuff in there, all the way leading up to there. So check out my Facebook. TonyDoyleInspires.com is the website and the business page on Facebook. It's the best place to get a hold of me, and
Yeah.
looking forward to
That sounds awesome. And well, your name is tagged already to the video, so if they want to find you, they can click on your name. And then if you just leave the link, even though you said it so many times, some people visualize it, so leave your link to your site on the comments. That'd be
Sure.
all right. Thank you so much. Is there anything else? I'm sorry, were you gonna say?
No, I mean, I think that's it. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Like, feel free to get a hold of me personally. So.
Yes. Thank you so much for taking time to come on. I'm so happy to have you on.
Thanks for
I
inviting
think
me.
it's our first time actually talking, and we've seen each other for the years and comment on each other's posts and stuff like that. I'm super grateful for the connection.
Yeah.
You taking the time to be here.
I appreciate the invitation. Looking forward to hearing.
Thank you. All right. You have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye. All right. That was so amazing to me. Of course, I'm going to step out really quick and say something that resonated with what Tony said to me about following your passion. As you follow your passion, sometimes it's the work is to find out what is it that you're passionate about, and your passion changes, but something about it stays similar to me. I've noticed, like, I first started off and I still love working with children, and I wanted to be all types of children, counselors, therapists, foster mom. I wanted to just have children and love children, because I knew at the core that's where it started. And if we can catch at a child and implement and teach the correct, or I want to say correct, but loving thoughts, you know what I mean, compared to some of the things that we were taught, and how some of us grew up with self-doubt and all these different things that we have to unlearn. So if we could kind of put the root of it with good soil, it would grow up to be a good tree, so to speak. And so I wanted to work with children. And then over time, I just realized I just love people in general. I do love the innocence of where people are open to learn from. And I knew once, like, a lot of the awareness came to me about we are more than we've been told. And I would tell other people, or in talking with other people when they reached out to me, to see their aha moment when they got the change that clicked for them, that switched them from where they were to a different thought pattern on the way to where they wanted to be. I realized this is what I want to do. And like he was saying about following your passion, realizing and clarifying your passion, I feel is very important. And once that happens and you become open and you just move gently in that way, you don't have to stomp that way, but move gently in that way. I believe that the universe, God, comes and gives you inspiration, as I felt in starting to do these lives, and as I felt in doing the jewelry, things that are fun to me, and that's in the direction I'm moving into. I know the part about abundance and finance will come because I've seen from where I was to where I am now. And so I have faith in where I'm going. All right. I thank you guys so much for joining me today. Whenever you catch this, if I upload it and when I upload it onto the YouTube video, if you catch it on the YouTube or you catch it on Facebook Live replay, I appreciate all you guys. I love all you guys. Have a great weekend. And all to the moms out there, happy Mother's Day. This is Mother's Day weekend. Mwah. Love you guys.